So I don't know if you guys remember, but a while back I made a video called 3 gold stocks to buy before a market crash. And just a quick disclaimer, I'm not invested in any gold stocks or even gold for that matter. But with so much uncertainty going on in the stock market right now, and with it performing as badly as it's been performing, it looks like a lot of investors are flooding into some gold stocks. And I wanted to talk to you guys about it. So let's talk about it. What's up everybody, my name is Ale and welcome to my world of stocks. So obviously there's been a lot of fear going around lately with the stock market because we've been in a very strong bull market for, the past decade or so. And so a lot of people are saying that a market crash is just right around the corner. Now, as you guys know, I haven't really been one of those people, and I've received a lot of criticism for that, because there's a lot of people that have very strong opinions about there being a crash very, very soon. Now, I do think that there is probably going to be a crash somewhat soon, but the thing is that I don't want to waste time trying to predict when that'll be. Instead, I actually, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I really want there to be a market crash, and the sooner the better, because there's so many stocks that I really like right now, and I wish I could buy them, but they're just so expensive. One that just quickly comes to mind is Amazon. I mean, can you imagine if you could get Amazon for a much, much cheaper price? I mean, it would just be a really, it'd be like a steal for me. But not just that, there's a lot of stocks that I really like. Disney, I'm really bullish on. Microsoft, I would love to get those at much lower prices, especially with some of the things that are going to be happening in the future, like the gaming market taking off, Disney's upcoming streaming service. So, the sooner that we can get into a market crash and I can get, my cost basis average down much lower, the better for me. But again, I don't want to try to predict when that'll be, because I'm worried that I'll miss out on possible gains. I also, I don't know how much will crash. I don't know how long it'll take for us to recover. I'm not good at predicting all those things. So the way I see it is that I'm just, I'm investing now, but when a market crash comes, I will be very happy. And if I'm also being honest with you guys again, I do have a pretty large portion of my portfolio just in cash, in case that there is a market crash. But also when there are corrections, I tend to buy, pretty heavy into some stocks as well. But a lot of people don't see things the same way that I see it, and that's completely fine. I have a lot of viewers on my channel that really agree with a lot of the things I say, and I have a lot of viewers on my channel that really disagree with a lot of things I say. But I think that's what's kind of cool about, at least with my channel. I don't know about other channels, but we usually have some really friendly, pretty friendly debates. Sometimes I'll get some hate comments, but, most of the time, we can kind of debate things, and it's a lot of fun. I welcome all the criticism, and I think it's fun to debate all these kind of things. But something that's going on right now is that there's just a lot of fear going on in the stock market because of, a trade war, rising interest rates. A lot of people say that we're in a bubble. So those are common arguments that I often hear from bears, from people that think that the market's going to crash, and and they kind of want to wait to see if the market crashes before jumping in, or they're kind of just selling off right now. And so that's kind of what we're seeing with the stock market, because the stock market has dropped pretty significantly lately. So in fact, the S&P 500 took a nosedive, not as bad as what we saw at the start of the year. That was around 10% or so, but in similar fashion, took a nosedive, and it dropped around 6% in the last week alone, which is very significant. Now, the Dow Jones also saw similar performance, and the tech-heavy NASDAQ took the worst of it, dropping by around 7% in the last week. And that's just when looking at the broad indexes, but on an individual stock basis, some stocks in particular got really hammered much worse. Now, just a few that caught my eye that I've kind of been tracking lately, but CVS dropped over 7% in just the last 2 days. AMD dropped over 8% yesterday alone. Nvidia is down over 15% for the week. Google is down over 7%. Amazon is down almost 10%, which, man, I really hope Amazon just keeps crashing. I really want them to drop a lot lower. I'm really bullish on Amazon, but I just wish their price was a lot lower. Netflix is down almost 12%, and some of my biggest stocks are also down a lot, with Microsoft down over 6% and Disney down over 4%. Now, I personally, like I said before, I kind of see this as an opportunity. I like it. I think that this is actually a healthy correction. Like a lot of people say, that we're in a bubble. Well, the only way to kind of sustain that is to get a nice, healthy correction, right? The market can't just keep going up forever. You got to get a correction. And also you kind of have to have a crash as well, which is, again, a fair point by a lot of people. I don't disagree with it. I just don't know when it's going to happen. That's my only argument. But in this case, this particular case, I think this is all being caused by a lot of fear, and I don't think that these reasons have necessarily been proven yet to really sustain an actual market crash. So I kind of see this as more opportunity. So I'm actually going to use this to buy stocks. That might be a huge mistake if the market does in fact crash, but as long as this is just a correction, I should be able to bring down the cost basis of a lot of my stocks, which I'm really excited about if I'm correct in my assumption. Anyway, though, what's been going on with gold is that, because a lot of people obviously disagree with what I'm saying, a lot of people are flooding these gold stocks and gold in general. So the price of gold actually climbed higher to over $1,220 per ounce. And despite, those gold prices were actually kind of struggling lately. They were actually over $100 higher just about 6 months ago, but they've been kind of trending downward. But anyway, investors decided to flood into not only gold, but also gold mining stocks, gold indexes, and even gold royalty or streaming stocks, driving them up very significantly. In fact, just on Thursday alone, Rand Gold jumped over 9%, Barrick jumped over 9%, SPDR jumped almost 2.5%, VanEck Vectors jumped almost 7%, Gold Corp jumped almost 7%, Royal Gold jumped over 5%. We'll talk about Royal Gold in a second, because that's, if you force me to invest in a stock, maybe Royal Gold is maybe one of the ones that I would like. But anyway, Royal Gold jumped over 5%. Newmont jumped over 7%. That's another one that I've kind of kept an eye on as well. And then Kinross also jumped almost 5%. Now, if you ask me if I'm jumping into any of these gold stocks, the answer is no. I'm not investing in any gold stocks. I should say most of these stocks are down very significantly year to date, and they've been trending downward for a while. So they're not what I would consider to be safe investments. But that's actually the counter argument, is that they are safe investments. A lot of people would say during times of uncertainty, because usually gold prices will usually go up when there's a lot of uncertainty. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it goes down even with a market crash and things like that. But usually when there's uncertainty, that tends to drive up the price of gold as kind of a safe haven for investors. And because of that, a lot of these gold stocks, a lot of these gold companies, like gold mining companies and even royalty and streaming companies, which are just like financiers, they will benefit from those increased prices in gold. So that's why a lot of people consider them to be safer investments. But because I think that the only reason that these gold stocks are actually, kind of recovering, because like I said, they've been trending downward, I think the only reason that they're kind of recovering, just these last couple of days or this last week, is because of all of this uncertainty. And because I don't really think that there is going to be a market crash, in my opinion, I feel like it's kind of unwarranted. So that's why I'm not quick to jump into any of these stocks. And on top of that, gold mining companies, they're very capital intensive, right? Like they you got to set up a whole mining facility, all the expensive machinery, really expensive machinery, all the rules and regulations, paying all of your employees. It's very capital intensive. So they don't usually pay dividends, which is another kind of negative there, is that you can't really get a good dividend stock. Now, the counter argument to that would be that you could go for a royalty company, which act as a financier, basically, kind of giving out loans to these companies, and then they work out different types of deals. I don't want to get all into it, but a lot of times they'll get gold at lower prices and things like that. They can work out a bunch of different deals, so it really benefits the financier companies, these royalty or streaming companies. But anyway, so some of those pay dividends. So like Royal Gold, for example, which we mentioned just a little while ago, Royal Gold actually pays a pretty solid dividend with a 1.3% yield, 17 years of consecutively increasing the dividend, which is really good in my opinion, a payout ratio of less than 50%, that's also pretty good, and almost a 10% 5-year growth rate. So that's actually a pretty good dividend, kind of a dividend investment there. But anyway, I just wanted to share that update with you. I found it kind of interesting that, we're kind of, like I said, like I mentioned in that previous video that I made a while back, sometimes, market has a lot of uncertainty. And I was kind of saying in that video, I was saying, if you guys think that there's going to be a lot of uncertainty, you may want to look into gold stocks, because this tends to happen, and so that's actually what we saw happen this past week is that a lot of these gold stocks really climbed up. But like I said, I personally don't think it's really warranted, so I don't really want to touch these stocks. But you know, they've been trending down for a while, but that might actually be a good low price for you, right? Like you always want to buy low and sell high, so maybe that's a good price for you. I don't know, that's your decision to make. But I'm really curious to know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys like any gold stocks. Is that something you've ever been interested in? Are you buying gold, silver, anything else? I'd really like to hear your opinion. And do you think that there's going to be a market crash soon? I would love to know what you guys think about that. Some of my viewers are very intelligent people and I love reading your comments. So if you could let me know what your thoughts are, I really love to read those. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. I've got more videos coming up very soon, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Stay safe out there in the market. Be cautious, make the right decisions. And anyway, we'll talk next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.